The Diaspora podcast acknowledges the traditional owners of the land and the First Nations and the elders past, present, and emerging. Mahatma Gandhi's Satyagraha and his mission to foster interfaith understanding and harmony was an iconic act in his times. So today we have with us Hemant ji and Kalpana Naik ji, who are the Secretaries for the Mahatma Gandhi Memorial Committee of Australia, that is also chaired by Jim Varghese AM, and they have been iconic in the establishment of the Gandhi statue at the Roma Street, Parklands, that was inaugurated by the Honourable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji. And it's such an honour for me to start my morning with these two Gandhians here with me on the hot seat on this podcast. So welcome. Namaste.
Namaste, Akashika.
So Kalpana ji, we are in a very strange world these days, and the power of Satyagraha is a concept to explore. We would like to really explore with you the significance of Satyagraha in Gandhiji's life and work, and how Satyagraha served as a powerful tool for social and political change, where the emphasis of truth, non-violence, and disobedience, civil disobedience, was paramount.
Namaste, everyone. Good morning from Brisbane. My comments here are based on research and what I have learned and my understanding of Mahatma Gandhi ji and his life and his values. First of all, let us see what is the meaning of Satyagraha is. Satya means truth and Agraha means holding on to it fiercely and be ready to sacrifice that for that cause. Satyagraha means non-violent resistance to evil or civil disobedience in pursuit of justice. The concept of Satyagraha is built on three basic tenets: Satya, Ahimsa, and Tapasya. Satya, or truth, implies openness, honesty, and fairness. Ahimsa means refusal to inflict injuries on others. Tapasya conveys willingness for self-sacrifice and patience. Non-violence and these values were deeply rooted in Hindu religion. Gandhiji drew his inspirations from it and further developed this concept to use in political arena and very successfully. Gandhi also staged successful boycotts of British clothes and everything. Gandhiji first conceived Satyagraha in 1906 in response to a law discriminating against Asians, which was passed by British colonial government in South Africa. In 1917, the first Satyagraha campaign in India was mounted in the district of Champaran. During the following years, fasting and economic boycotts were also employed as methods of Satyagraha in India. As we can see, it required a lot of personal sacrifices along the way. Gandhiji's Satyagraha became a major tool in the Indian struggle against British imperialism. Gandhi led a major non-violent protest against action in 1930. It was known as Salt March. This was the first act in an even larger campaign of civil disobedience against British rule. Gandhi led the Salt March to the sea to make our own salt and avoid paying the British tax on salt, which was very, very unfair. Salt March gathered support among the Indian population and attracted worldwide attention as well. It shook British rule's foundations. Gandhiji also staged a successful boycott of British cloth. a source of wealth for British. He urged Indians to weave, as we all know, this charkha, which became popular, on which they spin their own yarn. Gandhi took the pledge by burning British cloth in 1921. Mahatma Gandhi was the first one to use Satyagraha, which changed the history of the protests in the world. It proved to be the most powerful tool in bringing social and political change without lifting a finger.
So, Hemantji, these are fantastic insights. And, you both have spent so much time in his land, Gujarat. Gandhiji's life itself has so many meanings. And the role of religion in Gandhiji's life was, he was a Hindu, but he ensured that there was respect for Muslims, Sikhs, Christians, Jews. So, can you highlight Gandhiji's deep spiritual beliefs and the role of religion that shaped his worldview? And it would be nice to explore Gandhiji's understanding of religious pluralism and his belief in the inherent unity of all faiths.
First of all, good morning, and thank you, Akashika, for inviting me to this podcast. What I say here today is based on my research or search and the way I understand Gandhi's own thoughts. So let's first look at Gandhi's deep spiritual beliefs. Gandhiji expected religion to take account of practical life. He wanted it to appeal to reason. He thought it was his right to point out the defects of his own religion, but not to do so with other faiths. Now, the way I see it is that he didn't draw distinction between one's day-to-day life and the religion. Both had to work in harmony. If I may say so, in a way he was averse to the idea that his own religion was God-given. He encouraged free thought. While connected to morality, he also wanted to see defects in his own religion. To him, religion was not independent of reason or rational inquiry. But while saying so, he was also careful not to apply his principle and reasoning with other faiths. Then if we further go to Gandhiji's understanding of religious pluralism and belief in the inherent unity of faiths, he believed all great religions were fundamentally equal, that there should be innate respect for them, not just tolerance. There's a difference. So, by use of word innate respect, which in my opinion he is referring to deep inborn morality, he draws distinction between civility or tolerance and inborn respect. To him, attitude of patronizing tolerance was false and just tokenism. Gandhiji thought that Parliament of Religions or International Fellowship of Religions could be based on equality of status as common platform. Gandhiji could see then the multi-religious secular Indian fabric. This is why his ideas on religion and attitude towards other religions served as a secular blueprint.
That's profound. So, talking about religion, this is a general question to both of you in today's times. We hear so much of disintegration and on the name of diversity, there are silos. People have siloed the community. But then there is also a community of humanism, So what are your thoughts about the humanity versus the siloed communities of religion?
If I may answer you, Akashika, Gandhiji believed in interfaith dialogue and harmony. Mahatma Gandhi's famous quip is, I'm a Hindu, I'm a Muslim, I'm a Jew, I'm a Christian, mystifies those who perceive each religious tradition as confined within its exclusive dogmatic walls. He believed in respecting all religions and creating harmony among all religions. His dedication to building strong inter-religious relations, which he termed heart unity, was not a passing fad, but rather an essential step forward developing personal character and social harmony. In 1921, Gandhi wrote in a weekly publication, Young India, I do not want my house to be walled in all sides and my windows to be closed. Instead, I want cultures of all lands to be blown about my house as freely as possible. But I refuse to be blown off my feet by any. Now, this is a very profound statement. He welcomes everyone, all religions, but he doesn't want to be moved or he doesn't want to be blown away by any of these things. This quote crystallizes his dynamic and inclusive approach to religion with the goal of mutual respect and understanding of other religions, not simply tolerance, as Hemant just explained. Gandhi's guidelines to create strong interfaith relations underscore heart unity, not by diluting one's own views about religion, but safeguarding the uniqueness of one's own faith while accepting the religions of others on their own terms. His approach aims to unite hearts despite of differences. At a time when contemporary terminology of interreligious dialogue or multiculturalism had not even surfaced yet, Gandhi offered specific tools for building strong interreligious relations. Gandhiji met all religious leaders from Islam, Sikhs, and Christianity, etc. He met Anglican missionary Reverend C.F. Andrews and several other leaders. He discussed all aspects of different religion and its role with the other leaders. Gandhiji believed true religious spirit unites humanity. Now this is very important statement. Gandhiji believed true religious spirit unites humanity and does not divide it. It promotes universal peace, brotherhood, goodwill, and mutual trust and understanding. This should be the role of religion. And as we see these days, people fight over religions, which is exactly opposite of what is the meaning of religion, really.
It always surprises me, when you go to a wild jungle, there are all different kind of species. You have a lion, you have a giraffe, you have an elephant, you have a monkey, you have snakes, you have cats. But there's always such beautiful harmony in a jungle. When you go with the energy you get from nature, it's magnificent, isn't it? And that's what I often wonder, that's what I would hope, that one day with all the harmony that we seek, perhaps we can all work together with our own unique diversities. So Hemantji, over to you. What are your views, particularly on the Salt March and the Interfaith Unity? You may have stories of the Salt March with Gandhiji's Satyagraha, and you would like to, highlight some events from that, please.
Yes. So, Kashika, first of all, again, talking about the word Satyagraha. Satya means truth. Agraha means insistence. So, insistence about truth, on truth. And it meaning clinging to truth. It also hold fast to truth and insistence on truth. All these are very important. But everything has to be in a non-violent way. he saw Satyagraha as a firmness in good cause. And this is often people forget that first you must understand that you are fighting for a cause. You believe in it. You got inside your heart, you feel that you are right. So Gandhiji practiced Satyagraha in Indian independence movement and also during his earlier struggle in South Africa, as we know. The Salt March is one example. It was also known as Mithano Satyagraha in Gujarati. And it was an act of nonviolent civil disobedience in colonial India led by Mahatma Gandhi. It was direct action of tax resistance and nonviolent protest against the British salt monopoly that they had. Because Gandhiji saw that salt is a basic food ingredient that a poorest of the poor would use in everyday life. Why should there be a tax? When people were making their own salt from the sea, and yet they had to pay a tax, to someone else, and it didn't make sense to Gandhiji. Also, if I may expand, Gandhiji used this salt march as also the things that were to come. This was also his experiment to see, if I do Satyagraha on a very basic issue of humanity, and against the British Raj, this was a test in so many other things to come, in the fight for Swarajya. So on March spanned 378 kilometers, the Salt March, from Sabarmati in Ahmedabad to Dandi in the South Gujarat. It grew with numbers along the way because he was walking. When Gandhiji broke the British Raj salt laws, it sparked large-scale acts of civil disobedience throughout the nation against the salt laws by millions of Indians throughout the nation, So that was the effect of this Salt March and Satyagraha. Then highlight the participation of people in this march. And if you look at that Salt March, the Salt March started with only 78 Satyagrahis, only 78, among whom were men and women belonging to almost every caste, creed, and religion. To keep up their spirits, the march used to sing the Hindu bhajan Raghupati Raghava Rajaram. All along, for 20 odd days, that they were just singing Raghupati Raghava Rajaram to keep up their spirits. Now, Raghupati Raghava Rajaram, interesting enough, there have been many versions of Ramdhun. And the version that Mahatma Gandhi used had uniting flavor with the words Ishwar and Allah. This was to spread the message of reconciliation between Hindus and Muslims. Now, this is not to say that he was ignoring other religious faiths. It is just that this was the largest population of Muslims in India, which was the second or first biggest minority group. So he used that. And that's where we see that how, it symbolizes the faith in unity.
That's brilliant. And you both may recall in 2017, we had the Bapu Peace Drive hosted by Gandhi Salt March. And we had Mr. Speaker of Queensland Parliament, Honourable Curtis Pitt. He was the front and centre of it. So we started from Coffs Harbour. We started from the Gurudwara, the oldest Gurudwara, the Sikh temple of Australia. We started from there. And then we drove the peace drive, then moved into the Grafton Church, the Catholic Church. And that was just after the New Zealand Christchurch attacks, if you may remember. So the terrorist, sadly, was from that small town, and he used to go to the church there. So the church really welcomed us because we realized that the town, the community, they needed a lot of peace. That was a beautiful ceremony there we had. And from Grafton Church, then we moved to the Holland Park Mosque in Brisbane. We drove all the way because there was a taboo, for people to know that what happens in a mosque. So it was a diversity and inclusion piece where we had everybody going to a mosque, having lunch with the Muslim community, and then from there we came to the iconic Gandhi statue where we had the bhajans. Now, would you believe it or not, Hemanji and Kalpanaji, the whole drive was mapped the same number of kilometers as the Dandi March.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So, yes. And so it just reminded me, from that era to what we've done here in Australia, just connecting the dots, that,
That's beautiful.
it is possible. When you want to attain peace, there are ways. So moving to the next part of this episode, Kalpanaji, clearly when we are doing things for peace, to attain peace and harmony, there are always challenges and criticisms. And Gandhiji must have faced so many challenges and criticisms in pursuit for that interfaith harmony. He resisted the Orthodox. There was a lot of resistance from the Orthodox religious groups because it was Mahatma Gandhi speaking. Please share with us, how did he respond to that resistance and remained committed for that interfaith harmony?
Yes, Akashika, you're absolutely right. He faced lots of challenges, not only from his own religious groups, but from outside as well, other religious groups or other community groups. Mahatma Gandhi faced lots of challenges and criticism for his ways and beliefs. Not everyone agreed with his idea of Satyagraha on religious and political grounds. He was imprisoned several times, as you know, for Satyagraha, boycotts and fasting against what he believed to be wrong. Critics of Satyagraha, both in Gandhi's time and subsequently, have argued that it is unrealistic and incapable of universal success, since it relies upon a high standard of ethical conduct in the opponent, right? Gandhiji and his followers could be as committed, but there has to be a high standard of ethical conduct in the opponent as well. The representative of evil and demands an unrealistically strong level of commitment from those who are in power. In more accusing note, Marxists often argue that Gandhi was a reactionary who prevented real revolution that could have made a difference to the downtrodden from taking place. That's another angle. His limiting of violence prevented justice. Actually, it ensured that such structures of violence stayed in its place. Further, some feminists take strong issue with Gandhi's belief that principled self-suffering would bring about conversion on the part of an opponent. They point out rightly that women in the world have suffered and have been suffering throughout the history without the hearts of oppressive patriarchs being melted. Yes, we all can vouch for that. The patriarchal system merely seems to be quietly thankful for not being challenged. That's another angle as well, right? Still, others have claimed that Gandhi could do what he did because the British were fair, but that his tactics would have seen him killed in minutes if he had tried to do what he did in India, in say Nazi Germany or Stalin's Soviet countries. He couldn't have lifted a machine gun or a sword or something. He could have been killed in minutes if he didn't do what he did by Satyagraha. There was criticism within Gandhian camp as well. When Gandhi was no longer on the scene, it was left to others to redefine his vision of Satyagraha in newly unfolding political reality. Even his closest followers were split on the issue of legitimate place for nonviolence in the democracy. But, according to many, he could achieve independence only and only by Satyagraha and nonviolence. Sadly, Mahatma Gandhi paid ultimate price with his life for his values, his work, and his dedication to his country. I will end this by Albert Einstein's quote about Mahatma Gandhi. He said, "Generations to come will scarce believe that such a one as this ever in flesh and blood walked upon this earth." This was Albert Einstein's words. Actually, there are so many books and quotes, one can go on and on and on, but this is where we end here.
That's profound, Kalpana ji. And, as you were talking about all these things, the Bapu Peace Drive was at the back of my mind because we've been talking about it. The Bapu Peace Drive faced immense activism, as you know, and when you were there, when we were at Roma Street, we had activists surrounding the Roma Street parklands. And but the power of unity and the bhajans, that were there. We had the placards of Gandhian messages there. We had everybody from every religion over there, paying ode. We had the beautiful vibration. Exactly. We were not attacked. So challenges have been there. So talking about challenges, Hemant ji, over to you. Gandhiji's legacy of interfaith harmony, how did he make that lasting impact? To build those interfaith bridges, and his principles of nonviolence and interreligious dialogue, the principles continue to inspire peace and understanding in our contemporary society. He was also an ardent follower of Bhagavad Gita. So please, over to you.
First of all, earlier you mentioned the silo effect that all the religions have sometimes, or people have, not the religions, but the people have. This is because we start comparing what we have with others. And Mahatma Gandhi's biggest strength was he never compared any religion. He did read about all religions. He had a deep knowledge of what every religion says, but he never compared. The only thing he did was, when it came to criticism, he criticized his own religion and not others. And this was his biggest strength. So if we can get rid of this silo effect in our life, that, where I live, my house is the best, better than the next door. If we get rid of that idea, that, then we will see peace and harmony amongst all the religions. So in saying that, one of the greatest contributions of Mahatma Gandhi was his unparalleled attempt for Hindu-Muslim unity. He said this, "Even if I am killed, I will not give up repeating the names of Ram and Rahim. With these names on my lips, I will die cheerfully." Now, what he saw was that we are fighting an evil force for our rights. But back of his mind, he knew that one day the British will be gone and then we'll be left in India. And who are we? We are a fabric of different religions and we'll have to live in harmony. So having that thought in back of his mind, he always talked about religious harmony in India. Because one day he knew that we'll be facing this. And how true it is, even in today's fabric, we can see the conflicts and everything rising out of religion. But India is a democracy now. And so, we are still thinking about Mahatma Gandhi's sacrifice and his thoughts about religious harmony. Now, principles of nonviolence. Interreligious dialogue. name of Mahatma Gandhi transcends the bounds of race, religion, and nations. In his time, Gandhi emerged the prophetic voice of 21st century. He is remembered for his passionate adherence to the practice of nonviolence and his supreme humanism. After the great Buddha and Jesus, I can say he once again demonstrated that nonviolence could also be an effective instrument of social change. We can sum up this and we can say that by saying Gandhi lifted country from the British policy of divide and rule and led the Indian masses from rivalries and hostility to reconciliation and harmony.
That's profound. That's profound, Hemant ji. And Kalpana ji, I'll tell you, you would love this because I was watching on SBS. So this famous Vietnamese Australian chef, Luke Nguyen, he was visiting Bangalore. And Bangalore, did you see that? Yeah, it was so funny. I mean, but that is real India. You know how, Hemant ji, you're saying, the footsteps of democracy where everybody are in harmony. He visited the area where the Muslims were having the Pahalwani thing. They were making the biryani. There was peace there. There was harmony. Then there was an LGBTIQ person who took him for a night shopping drive. That was there. Then he was visiting a Brahmin cafe, having the filtered coffee and munching some fluffy idlis. My God, I really wanted to eat those idlis straight away. The animals were walking peacefully on the road. That truly is Vasudeva Kutumbakam.
So right.
Harmony
So right.
For all, for animals, people of all religions. There were churches there. There were Sikh people also visiting the idli place and the biryani place. Who can say no to both the things, So often when I hear as an Australian of Indian origin, and when I see comrades visiting India and showcasing that beauty of harmonious India that it is, I often wonder what the foreign media often depicts. Where do they get their fake stories from? Anyhow, that's one other time. But it's been such a delight, such a pleasure to have you on board here today, and I wish you all the best for many beautiful Gandhian works and the legacy that you're driving our Australia into. Sangachadvam.
Thank you so much, Akashika.
Ubabar.
Thank you so much, everyone. As we draw this captivating episode to a close, we find ourselves reflecting on the remarkable life and timeless wisdom of Mahatma Gandhi, the apostle of peace and advocate for interfaith harmony. Throughout our journey, we have delved into the heart of Gandhiji's unwavering commitment to fostering unity among diverse religious communities. His profound belief in the power of interfaith dialogue and understanding continues to inspire us and the world. Gandhiji's unwavering dedication to non-violence and his tireless pursuit of justice and equality serve as guiding beacons in a world often mired in conflict and division. His teachings exemplify the transformative potential of interfaith harmony, an essential ingredient to build bridges, nurture respect between different religious traditions. In today's turbulent times, where tensions and misunderstandings persist, Gandhiji's message resonates louder than ever. As we bid farewell, let us remember that the journey towards interfaith harmony is an ongoing one. It requires our unwavering commitment, empathy, and a willingness to learn from one another. It is through these collective efforts that we can create a peaceful world where all faiths, people, and animals and plants can coexist in peace respect, and understanding. Thank you again for joining us, and may his timeless wisdom continue to inspire us to build bridges, foster dialogue, and create a world where unity triumphs over decision. Thank you.
रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम। रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम। सीताराम सीताराम भज मन प्यारे सीताराम। रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम। ईश्वर अल्लाह तेरो नाम सबको सन्मति दे भगवान। ईश्वर अल्लाह तेरो नाम सबको सन्मति दे भगवान। रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम। तन मन कर्म वचन से जान भज प्यारे तू सीताराम। तन मन कर्म वचन से जान भज प्यारे तू सीताराम। रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम।